So, if a person wants to learn Arabic, then first of all, he needs to learn the letters. If a person's going to learn the letters, then what does that entail? What does that include? Let's see here. We're brainstorming here. Learning letters, Arabic letters, of course. This includes learning the shapes of the letters. And it includes learning the names of the letters. And when we say learning the shapes of the letters, I could include under the shapes, or I can just make it a separate point. Some handwriting tips. I'll make it a separate point. Some handwriting tips also, just so you can have uh, some uh, kind of sort of decent handwriting. When I say handwriting tips, you're not going to be a calligrapher. Only if you really are interested in handwriting and you put effort. And every time you're sitting down and you're doodling and you are writing Arabic letters and practicing, and yeah, and eventually your handwriting's just getting better and better. And inshallah, all of a sudden you will have very beautiful handwriting. Okay, and when we talk about learning the shapes, as you know, we are talking about learning the neutral positions, what they look like in neutral position. I hope I spelled that right. Neu. You can correct me if that's wrong, please. And what they look like connected. Connected, yani in beginning, middle, or end. Okay. So these 3 points right here, that's good start. So why don't we just go over the letters from the beginning, inshallah ta'ala. So what I'm going to do here is going to make for myself some lines. Hopefully you have a pencil and a paper. If you can use a lead pencil on a piece of paper, that's better because that'll give you a better grip and that will enable you to have more control and therefore better handwriting. All right, that's probably good, inshallah, for now. The lines run out so fast, so I was just writing a lot of them. So, first letter then is Alif. Alif. Uh, I'll spell it in Arabic first. Now, as for me, I am writing on an iPad. That means I'm using a plastic pencil on a glass surface. So I have almost no grip. I have to have like complete hand control here. And that's why a lot of my stuff, when you look at it, looks a little wobbly. That's me attempting to maintain control of my hand for the lack of grip. Not to mention my iPad's on some kind of a swivel thing. So I have to have extra control there or it'll just slip under me. So this first letter is Alif. Alif. Uh, Those vowel sounds are A and E. Alif. Alif. Not Alif. Not Alif. 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 And how does it look? Alif is not a completely straight line. Not a completely straight line. When I say not a completely straight line, what I mean is to anyone who knows what he's looking for, knows what he's looking at, is going to notice that Alif is slightly bent. Or else a person is not going to notice that it is slightly bent. And I have here to assist me a mushaf, a PDF of mushaf. Uh, if you didn't know, brothers and sisters, The Mus'haf is handwritten. Handwritten. Here. If you didn't know, the Mus'haf is handwritten. Now, let's take a look here at Alif. Here's one. It's a little bit blurry because I magnified it. But perhaps you can perceive that it's not completely straight. And here's another, and here's another. You see, they're not completely straight. And didn't I just tell you that the Mus'haf is handwritten? Yes, it is handwritten. Yani, of course, this is a copy. There's an original. Someone who's a great expert calligrapher. He sat down and he wrote out a Mus'haf. Allah knows how long it took him. Did it take him days, weeks to write out an entire Mus'haf? But he did so. And maybe what he was writing on, Allah knows the size of it also. Was he writing on something just like standard size mushaf we carry around usually? Or was he writing on something large? Allahu alam. And then they make copies from that, big copies, small copies, medium copies. I don't know. But the point I'm making to you is all of this, what you see right now, this is originally handwritten. This is not typed. That's how much of an expert this person is who wrote this. His name might be around here somewhere. If you search the preliminary words, that are in the Mus'haf here and there. I don't know, but I have seen some Mus'hafs that give credit to the scribe. But how can you tell that this is handwritten? By close examination. If you notice, you see these alifs here. If you notice, each one really is different from the other. They don't look exactly the same there. Each one is unique. But the one who wrote them such an expert that they almost look the same. They keep coming out the same. And look at, for example, this head of a hat here, if you know what you're seeing. And look at this one. Look at this hat here, and look at this one here. They are not the same. Anyway, this hat is connecting to a meme here. This hat is connecting to a yat here. And like that, you can keep looking at all the alifs, seeing each one is different. Or just one more thing here, if I haven't convinced you. Yani, look at this calf here, and look at this calf here. If you look very closely, you'll see they are not exactly the same. Slightly, very slightly different. So, okay, this is handwritten here. So you're gonna get your handwriting like this? It's possible. It's very, very possible too. Like not super far-fetched. You don't have to be a mega genius to do something like this. It takes practice and dedication. Then you can have very excellent handwriting. Okay. So now you saw what that Alif looks like, that expert Alif. I am an amateur trying to show you what a halfway decent Alif looks like. Slightly bent. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Allahu Akbar. Okay. So that's Alif. What's after Alif? Ba, ta, and tha. They all look the same except for the dots. So how do you write them? Here, I'll write the names first. There's ba and ta and tha. These three letters. That's their names. How do you write them? Okay, let me first do a dotted version for you. So I'm starting over, and this is big too. I'm doing a dotted version. I'm magnifying, so it's big. It's going to look bigger than the Alif here. Like in proportion, if I were writing it with the Alif, it's going to look, for example, like this. You see, like that size. I'm going to make it bigger than that. So with a zoom in, I'm starting over the line. Notice my angle of descent here. Starting over the line, and then before I get to the line, what I'm going to do, I'm going to curve. Before I get to the line, I'm going to curve. I'm going to hit the line off of the curve right there. Then I'm going to ride that line a little bit and maybe even dip under it a little bit. Then I'm going to come back up again. That's it. So if I fill that line in, looks like that. Yani, well, see, my thing's slipping under my hand. Like this, approximately. Okay. This is bat, tat, and that. What am I not doing? How I'm not writing this? I'm not writing this like this. Bat or tat or that. And I'm not writing a boat. I mean, a square. And also, I'm not writing something like this. So that's not right. That's not good. That's not good. Like that. That's a good one. I didn't even write the dots yet because it's not the most important. These are good ones here. Alhamdulillah. Let's take a look in the Mus'haf. See if we find something there. MashaAllah. Well, a bat by itself, I don't think we're going to find a bat by itself or a tat or a that by itself. But and if you do find any of these here, here's a bat right here. Here's a bat right here. Notice starting, before hitting the line, makes a curve. Then starts to ride the line. But in this case, it connected to the next letter. So it's like the line is here. Okay. So if it's a bat, then you're going to have one dot on the bottom. How I remembered this is bat, letter bat has B sound. And B is the first letter in the word bottom. And the bat has a dot on the bottom. If it's a tat, then you're going to have two dots. And the way I remembered that when I was first learning Arabic is that I said to myself, ta has sound of T, which is the first letter in two and the first letter in top. So the ta is the one that has two dots on the top. And the third one is that that has three dots. So I think you can know what my trick was for that one. Because fat has TH sound. Fat. And TH is the first are the first letters of three. And so I remembered that fat has three dots on top. So there you have Alif, Ba, Ta, and Fat. I'm going to keep on going here. If you want to ask any question, feel free. Then what's next? Next is Bismillah. Jim, Ha, and Kha. Oops. Bismillah. Jim, Ha, and Kha. Those are the next three letters coming up. Jim, Ha, and Kha. Okay. We're only looking at neutral shapes, as I think is obvious for you. Not connected yet. So each one of these three also is identical besides the dot. So to write a nice jim, ha, or kha, you need some practice. And you need to know some technique. So if I first attempt to make a dotted version for you, also enlarged, starting over the line, notice this curve here. It's like a wave, like uneven land, uneven ground. But it's subtle, a little bit subtle. It's noticeable, but it's not very big. Then what do I do? Going back to the first one. You see this first green dash right here? I'm going to write right over top of that. Okay. So you see here, this little nozzle here. My pen went back over it again. That's part of getting a nice ha, jim, ha, or kha. So if I fill it in, looks like this. Right now, I picked my pen up off of the surface and I'm putting it back down and writing over top of the line that I already wrote. That's okay. That's better than an average hat, but it's not really super good. Let me try again. This one, if I have a criticism right off the top, the hoop, the curve there is a little bit too pronounced. That one's okay. I picked my pen up. Now I'm putting my pen back down and rewriting over top of that nozzle there. All of these are okay. Now, if I just go back to regular size, that looks even better to me, just because smaller. That's good, actually. Those are pretty good. So, what are some of the pointers you want for writing this letter well? If it's a jim, has a dot underneath. If it's a ha, it doesn't have any dot. If it's a kha, it has a dot on top. What are some of the pointers you want to look out for writing this letter? One is, like I told you, you want to pick your pen up and rewrite over the top of that nozzle there. Two is you want to have a good curve there. Not too much and not too flat. Not too curvy there, that crest, and not too flat either. Also, what do you want for a nice, beautiful, attractive jim, excuse me, jim, ha, or kha? You also want here, see the end of this crest here is approximately parallel with the back of this hoop here. And likewise, the beginning of this crest here is approximately parallel with the end of this tail here. What it's going to look like if you don't do what I'm telling you. Then you're going to maybe have a hat uh, with a crazy crest like this. No, like that. And then because you don't pick your pen up, you're going to come like this too. So you're going to have something sloppy like this. Or you might do something looks like backwards J if you make the thing too flat. So none of those are pretty. All of those are ugly. I mean, and you too. MashaAllah. Okay. So you saw how to do Jim, Ha, and Kha. There. These are very nice ones here. Well, the first one was. Okay. Next are Dal and Thal. How do you do Dal and Thal? In neutral position. So in my imagination, the way Dal and Thal are in neutral position is they are like hunchbacks. Hunchback with the meaning, so I'm starting over the line. Before I get to the line, I'm a curve. And then I'm going to come back up with a tooth there. So Dal and Thal, they look like this, approximately. Before I get to the line, I curve, and it has a little tooth. How are you going to get a nice tooth like that? That's all in the flick of the wrist. So that's part of your practice. You need to practice. Let's see if we can get some benefit out of that mushaf there. Bismillah. Here's the thal right here. Notice here. Dhalikal kitab. This letter thal. See his punch back there. Here's thal. So notice the curve of his back here. Before getting to the line, he curves. And has a little tooth there. We can see also here that the edge of this val is not parallel to the tooth. The tooth sticks out a little bit further. So what that looks like, something like that. Okay. This is a neutral form, not connected. Okay. Look here, though, at Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Here you see the crest here. That's actually, I'd say, a pretty significant curve. Very noticeable. And notice where the line offshoots from here. So what happened was that the pen ran back over the nozzle there, coming back again, like that. So, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Okay. So that's Dal and Dal, very easy. Did you also memorize them faster by writing them on a physical paper, repeating them? Yes, over and over. Yani, but Alhamdulillah, first I learned handwriting from Sheikh Samir. He used to teach us. He used to teach us just without a book or anything, just like how I'm doing for you right now, just showing you pointers. So that first exposed me to handwriting. Then I start trying. And you could tell I was trying. You could see it looks very amateurish, but there's something also about it. So stiff and but you can see there's some kind of effort in there. Then when I got the chance to go overseas, then I took another handwriting course in Nasikh. Sheikh Samir taught us Nasikh. That's the style of this handwriting. This is the style of the Mushaf handwriting. Nasikh. See that kha at the end? It took my time to write it. Look, I picked my pen up right there. Came back from here. I picked my pen up again right there. Now, even though that's not perfect, it makes a big difference. And someone will see this handwriting and say, MashaAllah, have such nice handwriting. It's really not that good. It's just better than average. Then I took another handwriting course in the handwriting style called Ruq'ah. And I got really good at it. And all I did was write in Ruq'ah only. I didn't write in Nasikh anymore. And my Ruq'ah was so nice, mashallah. Then I started writing in Nasikh again and I lost my Ruq'ah. So I need to practice that. But when I took those handwriting courses, and when I studied overseas, we studied in workbooks. What Sheikh Samir taught us was just him teaching us on the board and us copying and doing what he told us to do. In the Mahed and in the Jamia, we actually had notebooks with dotted letters to trace and everything. And even tests. We had tests on khat. We used to take khat once a week, once per week. All levels, by the way, all levels, all grades. All grades had handwriting once per week. Not in university level, lower than university level. All levels had handwriting. Or maybe more than once per week, I don't know. In university level, we had, I remember in university level, only took handwriting course one time. So I had a total of three handwriting courses, plus what Shakespeare taught us. Uh, okay, so dal and thal. That's a nice one. It's not bad here. Okay. If it's a thal has a dot. If it's dal lacks a dot. That's simple enough. And dal and thal are on the line. So what's next? Ra and zai. A lot of the beginners confuse ra and dal and thal and zai, but they don't really look so close. Ra and zai, they do start over the line a little bit. You see my little red notch there? I have picked up my pen, but only because I'm demonstrating for you. This doesn't require picking up the pen. Then, and notice, this line's going in this direction. And then my next line's going to go in the other direction. Because ra is like this. That's a good one. So, for example, Allah is Ar-Rahman. That's okay. It's nice. It's clear. It's okay. The ha is too small. It's way smaller than the ra. Part of learning the handwriting style, the handwriting, is knowing which, yani, the proportions of the letters in comparison to each other. Which ones are bigger than the others? Like letter Hamza, for example. Letter Hamza is a small letter. You're not going to write letter Hamza as big as the whole Alif or as big as the whole Lam, or you're going to write letter Hamza as big as the whole Noon. Small. So if it's a Zay, it has a dot. If it's a Ra, it lacks a dot. So if you are a novice, then how are you going to write those? Maybe your Dal is going to look like a backwards C. And maybe your Ra is going to just start from under the line completely. You won't have any piece of it over the line like you should. And maybe your Ra might look like a J, or it might be too curvy or something. That's good. These are good ones, alhamdulillah. Allah is helping me. Hmm. Ra has another shape too in Nasikh handwriting, something like this. I call that the fancy Ra. So you could write Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahman. That's a nice one right there. Very nice. Alhamdulillah. Okay. And Zay also. So you could write, for example, uh, Az-Zakah. Az-zaka. Okay. So Ra, Zai, and what's left? Or what's next, rather? What's next is Seen and Sheen. Now, writing Seen and Sheen takes practice. If you want a good one. Seen and Sheen. Okay. I know where we can see. Nice one. Suratun Nas. Yeah. Check out Suratun Nas here of letter Seen at the end of these ayahs here. Annas here. Annas. So, what does Seen look like? I'll show you right from this Mus'haf page. So, Seen, as you can see, has three teeth. First, what's happening there? What's happening there is you have three teeth. The second tooth, notice its direction. The third tooth, notice its direction. And also notice how close the second and third teeth are in comparison to how close the first and second teeth are in comparison to the distance between the second and the third teeth. There's more distance between the second and third teeth than there is between the first and the second. So, all of that in consideration, let's see. Seen, I don't really like that one. That's much better. Not bad, not bad. Alhamdulillah. That's okay. So, what's happening here? We have our three teeth. The second tooth going off in this direction, third tooth going off in this direction. And the distance between the first tooth and the second tooth is less than the distance between the second tooth and the third tooth. That's your scene. So what's your amateur scene or sheen going to look like? Like this. Something like that. Then I'm going to know what that is, but it's so sloppy. These are good ones here. Alhamdulillah. If it's sheen has three dots, scene has no dots. And then the next letters are sod and dad. But we need to stop here for today. Do you have any question I can answer for you?